the policy of project graduation, because we still are going. What's that?
There's no policy. There's actually no policy now. It was just, did you pull up the original?
I'm so confused.
Looking at
It's
it?
not a policy.
I thought it was the parents that did this to begin with.
Don't be wrong with us appointing a committee of principals and superintendents, whoever on this staff, to go in and look at project graduation, and then to come back to the board and say, okay, this is what you need to do. And then that would give us something to.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I think we need to ask, I think Ms. Lindell's here too, we need to ask Lindell and Mark if they're willing to.
Dr. Greeney's here also.
She said, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Doc. I'm sorry. They may have some input on that too. I'm all for it. We need to go in a different direction. How are we going to get there? I'm not sure how we're going to get there, but I know we need to go in a different direction. But I will be willing in a minute to make a motion to suspend project graduation for 2019 so that nobody starts taking up and doing things till we come back with the.
You are going to have some pissed off parents. Yes. You're going to have that junior class mad like a
You made a good point when you said the money that is coming out of the community. Last year at Kaplan High, project graduation pulled in $90,000.
Yeah.
You start pulling in that kind of money, my track program, my basketball, my softball, those programs are now going to be without, because they're hitting so many of our local businesses, and people are tending to give to project graduation. It is a great thing that we keep kids off the road. They need a place to go that night. If there is a way we could cap it, 40,000, 50,000, because what happens is last year we raised 90,000. So this group, let me see if I can raise 100,000. It's getting out of hand, out of control. I know I've told the president of Project Graduation no several times, which doesn't go over well with her. Because I want to know, what do you need to run Project Graduation? The fundraisers are, and I know she's trying to keep up with ERAP, okay? And it's time to stop it. What can we cap it on to where we can keep our kids safe? The idea of a place in our community free at cost for the night, so that expense is out of the way. Does every kid have to go away with $500 because they went away with $500? Every kid, plus on top of that, laptops, TVs, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay? It's about keeping our kids safe, not how much money we can give them.
Kelly did an awesome job. Like, those parents did an awesome job last year.
Okay, so if we come up with a cap, that means we control it, and I understand there needs to be a cap. So that's what we maybe need to figure out with y'all on some committees, with some of us, to get it done ASAP. How are we going to go about implementing it?
I think the parents just need to take it into their own hands and do it themselves. And do away with the school.
It's in the school system right now. Okay, it needs to be taken out of our control.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. The liability, the excess responsibility that's put on our principals and other teachers that may be appointed to help sponsor, it's too much. We need to focus on the kids' instructional time and getting them to that graduation date and make sure they get a diploma. That party was I'm gonna say a party in loosely terms, but I was at one of the first ones as not a student, but a volunteer. As a volunteer. I mean, they gave away $20-something thousand. There was one computer, and they got, door prizes that, a $15 door prize to McDonald's. These kids are happy to get that. I think where we fall into this rut that we have to compete constantly, and I'm gonna say ERAF because that's where I'm from. I taught there. I know what it's about. They want to compete with Delta. So if Delta raises 130, they want to raise 160, and they've gotten to numbers in excess of $130,000. Okay, it does take away a lot from other fundraising events and avenues where we need the money for our kids for other reasons. It's gotten to a point where business owners feel obligated that they have to give or they're gonna lose customers. But we can't sit here and say, you know, we need to put a cap on it. I mean, ultimately, it needs to be removed out of our control whatsoever because it was never intended to be in our control. Okay? I'm not sure how it got here,
I
but
agree.
it should not be in our
It
hands.
shouldn't.
Once they get their diploma, we are not responsible for those kids.
Exactly.
They're not ours. They're their parents.
Exactly.
Provide them a venue if it's, you know, if it fits. But they should be their own entity away from us. We should not control it. We don't want to put a cap on anything because we don't want to have anything to do with it.
Exactly.
We don't want the legal responsibility, the liability, in any kind of form or fashion, in my opinion. It's gotten out of control. It's no longer intended for what it was originally intended for. The year I graduated, or the year before, we had some people leave, got drunk after prom, and got killed. You know, people started doing this after the fact because they wanted the kids to spend one last night together, everybody in a
And
safe
be safe.
environment,
Yeah.
in a friendly environment,
That's what it's
where
about.
they could just be themselves, you know? And it's gotten to where people are trying to outfit their kids for the first 2 years of college. They get gift cards to pay for their gas for a year. You're getting laptops and, you know, it's ridiculous. It's become too much. I think they need to go back to basics, but for one, I don't want it in our control in any form or fashion. I really don't. I don't mind supporting it in the community, but as for our principals have to be responsible for any part of it, I say no. And as a board member, I don't want any legal responsibility for it as well.
Yeah, because it comes up. I mean, what did you say?
So-
How much is he gonna, how many, W-2, 600?
You know,
Or W-9?
and I don't think we should put that burden on central office staff
Yeah.
either. So,
I think we need a committee. I think, I'd like to move that we form a committee of principals, central office staff.
Well, y'all need to move, but y'all take it out of school.
And they come up with a proposal and come back to us. Because we can discuss this all night.
I'll second.
I'd like to add an amendment to his motion to suspend the project graduation indefinitely
Until we solve
till we come back with the
solution.
And I think probably the committee needs to get together expeditiously and get something back to us as soon as possible, so they can start.
They're gonna do it on their file where they need to do it.
But would you accept my amendment, Mr. Kibbe?
Yeah.
Second.
Jamal?
I just want to make the board cautious that we have to start having meetings with next year's
Exactly.
project graduation board and start appointing the president like soon, within the next 3 months, 2 months.
Okay.
So this isn't something that can be tabled for too long.
We have to do it quick.
can you take part in that committee? And
Yeah, I mean, all the high school principals will take part in the committee along with Mr. Peel, but I would tell you, we already met and all of us agree.
I think the way to do it, expeditiously, is to suspend project graduation for the 2020 graduating class and direct me to form a committee, and it would be me with all the high school principals to develop the guidelines for y'all. If it's board members on it, what will happen is we'll have to have a public meeting in which y'all are here. If there's a majority of board members on it, I think we get it done a lot faster amongst, and then we bring it to y'all through policy at the policy committee where there could be discussion, and then it's brought to the full board, and we can do that very quickly. We'd like to modify what is there right now, but they know more about what's happening with project graduation than what we do. So,
Mr. Peel, I would take it a step further. If we toy with the idea of keeping it in the schools, maybe grab one of our more experienced presidents from the community to revise the current policies of project graduation, if we want to keep it in the school. So, you know, there's a couple of people in ERAT that I know that have been very successful.
No. One thing I want to say is that we don't need the involvement of the board members.
No.
That's what slowed
No,
down.
no.
Let it be the
They're
superintendent.
bringing y'all.
I think we've already made our wishes clear, and I think the principals that have heard it. But I'm hearing what Dr. Janet has said, okay? But she's fixing to come here for something for a track program that could be fundraised for, should be fundraised for. But, you know, we got all this stuff going on. So I hear what she's saying. So I'm not naive to the fact that, you know, I mean, I know me and Jason talked about getting rid of it completely, so let's see what they come up with. So what's the motion gonna read, Mr. Kibbe?
You're on, Doctor. What's that?
To suspend project graduation for the 2020 graduating class and direct the superintendent to form committee as presented by Frisco Trove with high school principals and former presidents of project graduation.
That's how it started. That's how
Give it
it
motion.
started. Yeah, but the school board decided to do
Got a motion and we got a second.
Schools decided to do that
Public
shit
comment?
themselves.
First public comment.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no public comment. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Consent?